Good day to you, partner. I'm Guy, and I can already tell that I'll be your best friend in this fight.
I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Let me tell you a little bit about Tyler Durden. Tyler was a night person. While the rest of us were sleeping, he worked. He had one part-time job as a projectionist. See, a movie doesn't come all on one big reel. It comes on a few. So someone has to be there to switch the projectors at the exact moment that one reel ends and the next one begins. If you look for it, you can see these little dots come into the upper right-hand corner of the screen.
In the industry, we call them cigarette burns.
Hey guys, Weed Solo here, aka the Skeleton King. Aren't the game sounds of Diablo 2 still really satisfying to this day? I know this is a Necromancer channel, and I'm a Necromancer at heart, but there's one other sound in this game that I love, and that's the sound of Frozen Orb. Like, Frozen Orb is just the most satisfying spell sound ever. Seriously. So what's this video about? Well, I have a very unoptimal build. Well, that doesn't sound good. My merc isn't set up correctly. I have no curses. Whoa, I thought you said AFK Summoner's dumb. Well, I'm just showing you guys something real quickly, so give me a break, alright? This is Players 3 River of Flame. I had it on Players 3 just so there would be, like, some amount of attacking. Because my skeletons are kind of a high skill level, and my merc still does a lot of damage. So I wanted it to actually do something. This is showing a world where revives don't clump. Remember those videos a long time ago about revives running off being stupid? That's gone. Well, what's the second part of it? Revives no longer clump. If you don't know what clumping is, play Necromancer with a bunch of minions and revives. Basically, when revives are clumped, they cannot take actions, and they do not have a threat profile. That's a very important thing because this game does have threats. And basically, an enemy will attack the closest or highest threat target to them. Except for some exceptions, mainly bosses can do a couple of different things, but that's kind of neither here nor there. And still, bosses generally follow the threat profile system as well, which is why summoning a clay golem next to Uber Diablo is such a nice little tactic. So, the good side? Doing LOD content is just better. You no longer have to waste time running backwards to have your minions be active. What's the downside? Well, in maps, I found the play style of Stutter Step, of Blood Warp, Stutter Step, Curse, Blood Warp, Stutter Step, Curse, really fascinating. And I think it was a skill set that anybody could do, and it's something that will now be removed from the game if this patch goes through. Do I think this patch is worth it? Yes. I think the clunkiness of Necromancers for farming is just too much for me to say no. Do I wish there was some way we could keep the Stutter Step in maps? It'll still be kind of important, because even if you summon revives with high threat levels... by the way, a clay golem has the same threat as yourself, a necromancer, and there are revives with higher threat profiles. You still might get hit a few times, which could still lead to your death. But to me, it was always fascinating to really have to be active at all points. And this patch, if it goes through, would require you to be slightly less active in player rate maps. Solo, who cares? You'll never die in solo if you know what you're doing as a necromancer. You just summon, swap the tanky gear, and you should basically never die. Alright guys, Skelly King out. GG.
Nobody knows that they saw it, but they did.
Nice big cock.
What do you want me to do? You just want me to hit...